Hi Heaven, it's Colin here. It's Monday evening, the 3rd of December. I'm sort of following up with my little written comment from last night. It seems to me, and this is concerning the Is There a God video. It seems to me that you are posing a question: what am I supposed to believe? When part of the question is also, are you supposed to believe anything? And if you are finding that your beliefs are being shaken, coming into question, are you feeling guilty about that? And if so, why? From what I remember of your video, it sounds like you are talking a bit about what the expectations of your friends and family are for your beliefs and religious practices. But the religious practices, the rituals of Christianity, and I really don't know what brand of Christianity you were raised in, is not the same thing as a daily practice of morality, regardless of which religious worldview you were raised in. It sounds to me like you are drifting towards agnosticism. Agnosticism being defined strictly as without knowledge of God. I would expand on that definition by adding that it is also without certainty of God's existence. Now, for most people who have been raised in a religious context, the uncertainty regarding the existence of God, the uncertainty regarding what happens to you when you die, can be an extremely debilitating state of mind. It's very much akin to starting to experience withdrawal of a very powerful narcotic. And under those circumstances, both the narcotic and the withdrawal can be extremely damaging. If there is a God, I doubt very much whether he, she, it, they want human perceptions of their reality to be causing pain or angst. I do not think that that facilitates the journey of self-discovery that can occur either through a religious quest or a non-religious quest. I know myself, I slip between calling myself an agnostic, an atheist, a secular humanist, depending on the day. What I learned a long time ago was to be comfortable in my uncertainty regarding the existence of everything outside my own experienced reality. Now, if you've seen the film The Matrix, you know that it's possible to postulate a world where the entire experienced reality, except your own self-awareness, is a projected illusion. If you've delved into some Buddhist philosophy, you'll find that there's some echoings of that in that particular film. What there is also echoing very loudly in that movie is a concept that I studied in philosophy class during my Bachelor of Arts degree, and that was facetiously called the brain in the vat theory. And it basically runs identical to the Matrix. Prove that you are not a disembodied brain floating in a vat of cerebrospinal fluid hooked up to a computer that is projecting a completely real to you subjective reality that is indistinguishable from the objective reality. And you can't do it because the only information that we human beings receive are through our five senses. And, that's unless you're talking to mystics who claim to be getting perceptions of a larger reality from somewhere other than your five senses, or somebody who's assisted by various narcotics, whether it's weed, peyote, cocaine, what have you, who are having delusions, drug-induced delusions, and claiming to perceive a wider reality. The difference between the normally perceived reality with a fellow human being and that induced by a drug or a narcotic or even religious mystic is that the latter three cannot be demonstrated empirically. And I don't want to get into a deep philosophical discussion, but I will bring it back to the notion of uncertainty and moral relativism. Even if you've been brought up in a Christian household within a Christian moral milieu, and you are wrestling with questions of God's existence, you are a thinking, feeling human being who has learned to relate to your fellow human beings in a very compassionate, empathic way. Whether God exists or not, you are still going to interact with your fellow human beings in that compassionate, loving way on a day-to-day basis. If you are looking at the old notion of good works as a ticket to heaven, I would suggest that what you're engaging in is selfishness rather than selflessness. Having watched a number of your videos, I would suggest to you that you're a compassionate human being who is capable of doing good to and for others just for the sake of another person's fellow humanity. I would think seriously about being comfortable with not knowing absolutely whether or not there is a God, not knowing absolutely whether or not there is a heaven besides yourself, and not knowing absolutely whether upon death you ascend to a higher plane, descend to a more tropical clime, or merely cease to exist. The reality is that we've all got a finite number of years on this planet, and something's going to happen when our bodies stop working. And that's inevitable. So what you've got left is the journey from here to there. And rather worrying about what you don't and cannot know, enjoy the ride that you are knowing and perceiving right now. Hope that helps, and I hope that's not terribly confusing. hope somebody gives you a DVD copy of The Matrix for Christmas, because I think the Wachowski brothers got it right the first time. And have a good holiday season. Keep doing good. Take a few history courses and philosophy courses. They might help as well. Okay? You're a good person. You take care. Bye.